Right. So we read in the book of Revelation chapter 9, Revelation chapter 9 from verse 1 to verse 11. And we said today we are talking about what? The region of demons. We are still in the fifth dimension. Remember, our subject is about what? The fifth dimension. And we said that the fifth dimension is divided into three compartments. It has got three levels. It has got three places. The what? The fifth dimension. The first place, we said the fifth dimension is what? It's hell. The first place that you get in the fifth dimension or in hell, it's what? The region of the lost. Then the second place that you get when you go to the fifth dimension or in hell, the second place is the region of demons. Is the region of demons. The second place that you get is the region of demons. So the second place we said is the what? The region of demons. Then the third place is the throne of Satan himself. That's the third place. The throne of Satan. Right. Satan at one point, you find this interesting when we go into when we start to talk about the throne of Satan, because we are going to take Satan from heaven. Because remember, Satan at one point, he was actually an archangel of God residing in heaven. Ne? Right, you read this, you find it in the book of Revelation chapter 14. Ne? Right. Listen, when we are explaining, just take down the notes. You read when you go home. Because I'll explain and then you miss what I'm saying while you are reading. But you can read when you are at home. Ne? Right. So, Satan at one point, he was a cherubim, a mighty angel, an archangel of God who was residing in heaven. He was God's right-hand man. Satan himself, he used to be in heaven. Right. Then it so happened, you find this in the book of Isaiah chapter 14. Ne? And then you read at home. Right. You find it in Isaiah chapter 14. And I believe it's also Ezekiel chapter 28. Those two chapters, they explain about Satan when he was still in heaven and how he was thrown down. You understand that? Right. So Satan, he saw everything that God was doing. Satan, he knows about God very well. But you see, when Satan was there and he saw everything and then he was casted down, he also wanted to establish his own kingdom. So he starts to impersonate, because Satan cannot create. He starts to copy. He's a copycat. He starts to copy or mimic everything that God was doing. So when God, he saw, okay, God has got he's got these three places in heaven. Because heaven also is made up of three places. From the 6th to the 7th dimension, there are three places there. Ne? Just like in hell, we've got three places. Here on earth, when God was also establishing a kingdom for his children, because heaven belongs to God, but the earth belongs to us as God's children. He created this earth for us. This is supposed to be our kingdom. This is supposed to be our domain. You understand that? So, the same way that God has got three places there in heaven, he also put three places here on earth. This is why you'd find that when we were teaching, when we were starting the subject on the seventh dimension, what do we find first? Genesis, is it Genesis chapter 1? I believe Genesis chapter 1, somewhere there. I don't know if somebody still remembers. Anyway, I think it's Genesis chapter 1. And then the Bible says, in the beginning, yes. Genesis chapter 1. In the beginning, God created. In the beginning, we say that's time. Beginning. So the first dimension, we said it's what? Time. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. The earth is what? Matter. Substance. Second dimension. It's what? Matter. You understand? Then he says that after this, and then he saw that it was good and whatnot, and then light follows that. You see, light follows that. Third dimension. You see that? This is our domain. This is the 3D world. This is the three-dimensional world. This is what belongs to us. So this is supposed to be our little kingdom. You see, and then heaven, same thing, 3. But Satan, he copies what he saw God doing there. Then he establishes his own kingdom where he was put by God there, for punishment and things like that until the time is going to be bent. You see that? And then he also has got those 3 phases. So we saw that the first phase we saw is the region of what? The lost. The second phase is the region of the demons. Region of the demons. Now, Revelation chapter 9, the Bible says, Revelation chapter 9 from verse 1 to 11, the Bible says, "And the 5th angel sounded, and I saw a star fall from heaven unto the earth, and to him was given the key of the bottomless pit. And he opened the bottomless pit, and there arose a smoke out of the pit as the smoke of a great furnace. And the sun and the air were darkened by the reason of the smoke of the pit, and there came out of the smoke locusts upon the earth. And unto them was given power as the scorpions of the earth have power. And it was commanded them that they should not hurt the grass of the earth, neither any green thing, neither any tree, but only those men which have not the seal of God in their foreheads." People that don't have the seal of God, they will be tormented by those locusts that has got power like a scorpion. All right, let me continue. These are demons. Don't forget that. And to them it was given, remember the lid of hell has been opened. There was an angel which had the key to open what? The bottomless pit. You read it closely when you go home. It says, and to them it was given that they should not kill them, but they should be tormented 5 months. And their torment was as the torment of a scorpion when he striketh a man. Have you ever been stricken by a scorpion? Yeah, I've had a bad experience with a scorpion. It's not nice. Very painful. It's a real literal torment. Now imagine the Bible is saying that some people, they are going to be tormented just in the same way that the scorpion torments. You see that? No wonder the prophet, he says that when he went to the region of the lost, he saw the people, they were tormented and they were mourning and they were going, oh, like that. You see that? Right. And he says that, and in those days shall men, listen to this. And in those days shall men seek death. Yeah? People even desire to die because of the pain in the torment. He says, and in those days shall men seek death and shall not find it, and shall desire to die, and death shall flee from them. My God. People, they want to die and they will fail to die because God will just say they must be tormented. And the shapes of the locust were like unto horses, and the shapes were like unto horses. Where am I? 7. All right. And the shapes of the locusts were like unto horses, prepared unto battle, and on their heads were as it were crowns like gold, and their faces were as the faces of men, and they had hair as the hair of women, and their teeth were as the teeth of lions, and they had breastplates as it were breastplates of iron, and the sound of their wings was as the sound of chariots of many horses running to battle, and they had tails like unto tails of I think I missed this. Something I heard as if the song service started. Okay, that's fine. And they had hair as the hair of women, and their teeth were as the teeth of lions, and they had breastplates as it were breastplates of iron, and the sound of their wings was as the sound of chariots of many horses running to battle, and they had tails like unto scorpions, and there were stings in their tails, and their power was to hurt men 5 months, and they had a king over them, which is the angel of the bottomless pit, whose name in the Hebrew tongue is Abaddon, but in the Greek tongue hath his name Apollyon. We'll continue from this. Next week we are going to start straight away in the region of the demons. I believe